Yeah, what's good, YouTube? I literally just stopped the Andrew Tate again stopped by the gang in Ukraine video. Now we got the fellas again. Shout out to Cal Freezy and Chip, bro. Andrew Tate reveals how to get rich. A lot of niggas need this. Let's
Guys
see
who are
it.
currently watching a clip from our podcast, The Fellas.
Let's see.
Full
This
podcast
intro is fire.
available exclusively
How there's
on
like a
Spotify
circus into
with
this,
video
and then
for
that's
free.
literally
So
the
go ahead
real
and follow us
setup.
on Spotify. It actually helps us
Gas,
out more than you
gas,
can imagine.
better.
So we talked about
Yes.
education and truly understanding. I could talk forever about property and all this stuff.
Yeah.
You have to understand that the system in and of itself is slavery, and you can just be a different level of slave. That's all you can be.
Yeah.
Then you have to find a way to escape the system. The easiest way to escape the system is via network. You have to know people. The whole world is only people. I think a lot of individuals forget that every single institution on earth, every single organization, every single business, etc., it's just people in a room. What's this podcast
Yeah.
now? People in a room.
Yeah.
What's Tesla? Elon's business. People go to a factory, build something. What's the government? A bunch of people turn up to a building, decide that it's like it's people in a room. If you don't know any people, you're fucked. So I often say this to people who come to me and say, "Look, I want to become free, etc., etc." I said, "Who's the most important person in your family?" Oh well, and they scroll and then they go, "Well, this guy, yeah, he's a guy I went to school with. And he went to uni, and now he's a regional manager of this business, and he has a Mercedes." That's your guy.
That's bro, man.
That's the guy.
That's broski right there. Come on, Biz.
He's the guy you're gonna call if shit hits the fan. He's the guy who's gonna get you a passport or a second name or a gun or a firearm or break you out of prison.
Bro,
in
it's
the Congo.
regional manager.
That's your guy, regional manager of a fucking recruitment firm. That's who you know. You don't know anyone. So most people's network is fucking laughable. They don't know. They don't know anybody. Like, there's not a problem. If you were to come to me with any problem on earth, any problem anyone adds to my life, I go to my network and we fix it.
And he's spoken about this network, and this network is something that you're trying to create yourself at a minute, right? Called the War Room. Is that right?
I have a network called the War Room. Yeah.
Right.
And it's
Okay.
an international.
What is that?
Imagine the Freemasons, but cooler.
But
So-
cooler.
Yeah. No. So like, it doesn't
Right.
matter. Let's say your Facebook account gets banned.
Yeah.
You can email Facebook like a brokey, or you can go to the War Room and say my Facebook account's been banned. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let's say your bank account gets blocked.
Yeah.
Let's say your passport's blocked.
Yeah.
Let's say you need a Lamborghini in Santorini on 3 hours' notice.
Yeah.
Let's say I can give you a million different examples.
Sounds almost like an elite concierge service.
It's
but-
more.
but
It's not. No, it's not a concierge because there's no people in there who are specifically tasked with providing value. It's a network of people who provide value in return in exchange for the value that others can provide. So even if you
Right.
have no money and no connections right now,
Yeah.
this is the thing about being broke, which we're going to go into in a second.
That's
which is
interesting.
actually the answer to the 9 to 5 question. There are millionaires in the world right now and billionaires inside of my network who always need people on the ground who are loyal, trustworthy, and hardworking. And those three things are hard to find. I've had people join my network who have
Loyal,
nothing.
trustworthy, and
Brokies
hardworking is.
from dark, literally with nothing. But the only way they can provide value is with their time and with their honesty and with their hard work, and they do that. And before you know it, they're working for a multimillionaire, and now they're on the yacht, right? So the biggest problem with life, and the reason most people are broke, and this is the answer to the final answer to the question for the 9 to 5. The reason anyone is broke in the Western world today is because they are one of three things: they are either lazy, they are arrogant, or they are stupid. And
Lazy,
if
arrogant, or
you're
stupid.
broke, you are one of those three things. I don't care what excuse you try and fucking give me. You're gonna have to choose which one you are. Because if you're none of those three
In the
things,
Western, no. See, most people will say, "Oh, what about da da da?" He's man said the Western world, bro. He's talking about Canada. He's talking about United States, bro. And what he say? Lazy, arrogant, or some, or stupid?
And if you're broke, you are one of those three things. I don't care what anyone is broke in the Western world today is because they are one of three things. They're either lazy, they are arrogant,
Arrogant
or
or
stupid.
stupid. See what I'm saying, bro? So, like, if you stupid, get your education up, bro. If you arrogant, bro, humble that shit, bro. And if you're lazy, nigga, get off your ass.
And if you're broke, you are one of those three things. I don't care what excuse you try and fucking give me. You have to choose which one you are. Because if you're none of those three things, it's impossible to remain poor in the world, in the West. There is so much money. I'm going to rub it in for all the brokies quickly. There is so much fucking money in the world. I want you to, when you drive down a street, go to London, drive down a street. every building's worth what? 20 million, 50 million, 100 million. If someone owns all this shit, right? That hotel's $1 billion hotel. That fucking restaurant's worth 15 million. You can take a taxi ride and drive past £1 trillion fucking pounds. Who owns all that shit? People own all.
I see what you're saying, brother. I see the wisdom of Tate, bro. He stop sleeping.
All of this, right? There's so much money in the world. During COVID, when everyone was complaining that they went broke, I made so much fucking money. You would not believe the amount of money I made. The amount of money that's traveling around and floating around the planet is ridiculous. We're talking about inflation being out of control. It's because they're printing trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. It has to go somewhere. Now, they try their very best to keep it amongst the elites, and they do that. But if you're anywhere near the elite, you get money, right? If there's a rainstorm, all you have to do is walk outside, you're going to get wet. The difference between me and everyone else is I know where the door is to walk outside. Everyone else is just fucking floundering around the room, looking on the floor for pennies, like a jackass. So much money. It's so easy to make money in the world today. It truly is. And the reason, if you're poor and you're remaining poor, is because you're either lazy, arrogant, or stupid. So we'll talk about those three things. The first thing is lazy, which I've already discussed. I believe 99.9% of the people I've interacted with in my life are lazy. And when I say lazy, I mean it in the genuine term of the word. They're lazy. They think that they come up with bullshit like work-life balance. And well, there's no point working if you don't enjoy yourself and all this other fucking shit. And they remain lazy. And the problem is that the world we live in is player versus player. If you go play Call of Duty, right? It's PvP. You want to live, you got to kill that guy.
Yep.
He's some fucking 14-year-old in Singapore. He might he loses one more game. Don't care. Sniped. Boom. See ya. Had a nice life. Tangent. You're gone. That's how it works. Player versus player.
This is the most knowledge I've ever heard being dropped on this podcast. Right? It's fucking nuts. I'm
Bro,
gonna walk away from this fucking thing, and we sat there in Uber on the way home.
got sniped in
I'm not gonna
it's a harsh reality.
Tangent in Singapore is done. So, but it's player versus player, right?
Fuck
Now, I would like to believe in a world where you don't have to wake up and think about the money. Where you don't have to wake up and think about the bag. You don't have to wake up and think, how do I get paid? Where instead you could wake up and think, I want to enjoy my time, I want to spend time with my family, etc., etc. The problem is it's player versus player. There are people like me. There are sharks in the ocean. If you want to stay a fish, you're going to fucking lose. There are people like me who wake up and think, fuck it, I want more. Don't give a shit. I already have everything I could ever think of. I already have enough money to buy everything I could ever dream of. I can't even think of anything on the planet I want. Don't care. I want more so I can take it from others. There are people like me that exist. And you have to compete against people like me. It's player versus player. So when I say lazy, my entire life is work. And when I say that, people think that's depressing. No, it's not. It's not depressing. I love it. Every single thing I do is work. When I go to the gym, it's so I'm in fantastic shape, so I can call everyone a brokey, and they don't want to come up to me on the streets and I'll fuck them up. Work. When I come here and do a podcast and have a nice conversation with you gentlemen, work. I'm making money in between, work. When I'm it's work. So that when me and her go to the club, she behaves herself with all the other girlfriends around because she knows big deal.
Fucking these bitches.
You understand? It's all work. Life is work. Existence is work. If I'm awake, I'm working. Every single.
I love how he yells all the time. He's so intense, bro. But he's just like he's being dead ass though.
Everything I do is conscious. It's all done on purpose. Now we're gonna finish this podcast. I don't know what you guys are gonna do afterwards, but you could certainly film 10 podcasts in a row if you wanted to, but you won't because you're fucking lazy. That is the truth. You can be the biggest podcast in the world. You refuse because you want to.
We're on that way. We're on that way.
You're not allowed to go home. There's no home. Only work.
No.
There's nothing else. You have to outcompete everybody.
It's smart work.
No.
That's the word.
No. We're going to get on to smart work in a second, my friend. Now, smart work.
10 podcasts in a row is a waste of fucking time. No, it's not even not doable. It's just not. Just putting out 10 fucking podcasts is stupid.
You think I won't film 10 podcasts in a fucking row?
That's an L. If you film 10, that's an L for you. Because
no, it's not.
Because how are you going to talk about recent?
Matter. You can delay them. It doesn't matter.
But the content you talk about won't be relevant in 10 weeks' time when you put it out.
But you can talk about evergreen subjects, about the fact that the Matrix
Nobody
is here to
gives a shit
enslave us
about
all.
that. Nobody, no, not about that. But no one cares. What I'm saying is they want to hear about the latest and the greatest.
I understand.
So we have to talk about that.
The point I'm trying to make. Smart work or intelligent work is something that most people use to hide and disguise their laziness. And I'll tell you why. Because if you're not a lazy individual, the first thing you do is you dedicate your entire life to work. Like I just said, every bitch I fuck is work. Every gym session I go to is work. Every car I drive is work. I'll film it. I'll use it. Whatever it is. Every single thing I do inside of my existence is work. Once I've used all of my human time, every single waking second of every single day, and I now have a pile of work I can no longer complete, then I look to streamline. And then I go, okay, I've been awake for 17 hours, and my work isn't finished. I need to find a more efficient way to get my work done. That's when you start being smart and efficient. But until all of your time is used, smart and efficient is a disguise for laziness. It's bollocks, right?
Okay.
You don't need to be smart or efficient. You need to fucking work. I have people inside of Hustlers University. You just said I conquered TikTok, right? There's a guy inside of Hustlers University who's 16, and he's making £45,000 a month. You know why? Because he takes my old interviews, he makes TikToks, and he puts them on TikTok. He does 300 TikToks a day. He just fucking works. Doesn't think, doesn't try and be smart, doesn't try and be efficient, doesn't try and change the world. He sits his ass there on his phone and fucking works. And now he's making 45 grand a month.
That's why I'm starting my Tate TikTok tonight. And I've got 100%. And I've got my name. I've got my name.
You
ready.
ain't even made a fella's TikTok
100%,
yet.
100%.
What the fuck are you doing right now?
I'm going with Pastor Tate.
Don't make him the fucking money. Make us the fucking money.
No, listen. My affiliate link is going in my bio. Guys, make sure Pastor Tate. That's me right now, tonight.
So,
but this is the point. So most people are lazy, and when I say this, I understand work-life balance. I understand some people want to rest. Blah blah. I get that shit. But there are people like me who are born to work. We're born to conquer, and you have to compete against us, and you're going to lose. You're going to lose because we have networks. We have people who work for me. I have 1,000 people who work for me, and all I do is work, and all they do is work. All we do is fucking work. How are you going to beat me on TikTok? You can't beat me. I'm here and I've conquered the fucking platform. It's mine. That's because I'm a workhorse. So most people are lazy. So if you're going to sit there and you're going to look at me and you're looking at my 27 supercars and go, I'd really like that. If you really like that, you need to understand that every waking second you need to be working. And I'm going to handle every excuse because I want to answer this question compendiously.
Fantastic vocabulary right there.
Concisely. Because most people who come to me and say, oh, I'd love to be rich. No, you wouldn't. Because if you'd love to be rich, you'd be working. Now people say, well, I don't know what to work on. That's another lie. And the reason that's a lie is because there's always more work to do. Now, how much you care about something is directly correlated to how much work you find to do. If you truly love a coin, you can polish it forever, right? You can find work to do. If you sit there and go, oh, my work's done, then you haven't tried to find work. You can always find work. I don't give a shit if you're a carpenter. I'm a carpenter, and I finished my work. And go drop leaflets about carpentry. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to stay home. Then you don't want to be rich. There you go. There's your fucking answer. So you can find work to do in any sphere. You're saying we can't do 10 podcasts in a row. Perhaps you're right. Let's assume you're right. Let's assume you can only do one podcast.
Yeah.
I guarantee if I was in charge, you guys would be fucked. If I was in charge of this business, let's say I was in charge of
I say you guys would be fucked, mate. 200 podcasts today.
Fellas podcast. You would not be going home till at least 9 p.m. and I would find shit.
No, but okay, but Andrew,
you would be doing something.
In fairness,
there would be work to do.
In fairness, when we finish this podcast, the end of the work is not done. We'll go home and then we'll work on our own channels.
Our own stuff.
So when I'm done here, Andrew, when I go here,
see you at the top.
No, 168th floor, my friend.
168th floor. And I'm not talking about you guys personally in a disrespectful way. I'm just trying to highlight the fact that there's always more work to do.
Yeah.
This thing is finished.
I want to be disrespected today. I want you to tell me.
That's like some
Andrew, no, seriously.
What was degrading?
I'll tell you.
Compared to the general public, they'll look at me and go, Chip's rich. But then I look at you, Andrew, and I go, that's rich. Yeah, and I want you to tell me why I'm not where you're at. That's what I need.
Good.
I want to hear that.
And I'm telling you.
I want to be on that fucking yacht.
All right, I'll tell you. Yeah, good. Yeah,
I want to be there.
Good.
Good.
Right.
So, I need to know.
Good. And this is the thing. So you have to find more work to do. Now, if you truly can't find more work to do, I don't believe that's a thing. I believe that's just an excuse for laziness, right? You can always find some more work to do. You guys could go back to a podcast you made a year ago. And you could go and you could make a highlight show of all the times that you said, I don't know, fuck or drink or whatever. And you could make a highlight video. You could make a 10-second video of all the times you said it. You could put some music on it. Boom, boom, TikTok. You can always find work to do. There's no such thing as no work.
That's your next
There's no such thing as no work. No such thing. So, most people are lazy, right? The second thing that people suffer from is arrogance. And the reason people are arrogant is because every single individual, especially men, were born with we have an ego. Right? And I think the ego is a very important thing. If you
I said humble yourself, nigga.
That is pumped out by the Matrix. They say, you must get rid of your ego. You must remove your ego. But I disagree with that absolutely. That's the Matrix trying to program us all to be slaves. If someone has an ego, they are full of pride. And if you're full of pride, you do a good job. If you are proud of yourself, if you're proud of your body, you're going to have a good body. If you're proud of your work, you're going to do good work. If you're proud of the things you say, you're going to make sure the things you say are intellectual and well thought through, right? So they try and tell you to have no ego, to remove your pride so that you'll accept the programming from the matrix. They want to make sure that you're an empty vessel. They can just insert their programming. So you need to have an ego. And the ego can either be your best friend or your enemy. An ego you work hard to justify is a superpower. An ego that you have without justification is here to hinder you. So I'll give you an example of me, right? I've always had an ego. But I realized that I was full of shit having an ego if I wasn't actually a capable fighter who was rich as fuck with a dangerous world-class network. I realized that having an ego without those things was just bollocks. So I had 87 professional fights, and I made $100 million. And I built the War Room, got one of the most powerful networks on the planet. And now I get to have my ego justified, and I get to sit here on podcasts and talk with confidence because I've justified my ego. I knew what I wanted to be, and I justified it, right? If you have an ego, go, well, I don't have those things, but I don't need those things. Then you're fine, right? So most people are arrogant. I will sit here and tell the world on this podcast that I have a school called Hustlers University that teaches people how to make money online with 18 modern wealth creation methods. It's $49 a month. And there are people who still won't join. Oh, he's full of shit. I have a jet and a boat. 27 supercars.
Not you.
I know people who
Shell
have
company.
Shell company.
15 mansions, etc. And they're going to sit there, listen to all of the things we've said, and go, maybe he's lying. Because they are arrogant idiots. They're idiots, right? If Mike Tyson teaches you how to, comes and says, I'm going to show you how to throw a punch, do you sit there and go, well, you know what, Mike? It's not bad. I wouldn't do it that way. Or would you sit and go, okay, Mike Tyson? Right? So I've always been a very good student. Everything I've learned from people. Even when I was a kickboxing world champion, I became world champion because I just blindly obeyed. It wasn't a matter of, I think this. It was just turn up at the gym, do this. My coach, who was Bosnian Special Forces, who fought in the Yugoslav conflict, would say, you're doing this today. You ain't going home until I've seen 10,000 push-ups. 7 hours later, I did 10,000 push-ups. That was the game. That was it. I just obeyed, right? So most people are so arrogant, even if someone like me wastes their time trying to tell them how to escape slavery, they're too arrogant to even fucking listen. They're going to sit there and go, well, $49, maybe it's a scam. Oh, maybe I scam you out of a Nando's. Oh, no. Boo fucking who? And if you want to, because I want to extrapolate our conversation, I want to tie back to things I said previously. We talked about how education exists in a vacuum. My education doesn't exist in a vacuum. Hustlers University is in competition with every single other purchase on the planet. So I currently have 64,000 students. 64,000 people are inside of Hustlers University paying $49 a month every single month. Don't be impressed that I got 64,000 people. Be impressed I retain 64,000. Those people are making more than they spend. So you have to understand this. My educational system, it doesn't exist in the same way that traditional educational system does. You can spend that $49 on anything you want. I'm in competition with Nando's. I'm in competition with video games. I'm in competition with fucking food, fucking Snickers, the gym, porn, whatever you want to spend your money on. And 64,000 people have decided that the best possible value they can find for their $49 is inside of my school. That shows my school works.
I wanted to give you this.
Shit. Okay, right. Hey. Nigga has me invested, no cap, bro. That's like, that's W information, bro. You gotta take that in, bro. Do I think I'd get Hustlers University or whatever it's called? Nah, bro. Cause I already know I want to do YouTube, so I would work on this. Like, stop being lazy. Like, work even harder on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Work even more and shit. Promote more. Make more shorts to promote all of that, bro. So that's the reason why I wouldn't get it. You know what I'm saying? But what happened to being stupid? Fuck it, nigga.